Do you have the right human capacity? Do you have the right human resource? And it's not just about the workers we have employed within our organization. It's about, can we tap into volunteers? Can we tap into volunteer experts within our communities? How do we have people who have the skill support our work even without salary, without payment? How do we create opportunity for interns and attachés? How do we create an opportunity so that we are able to deliver what we're supposed to deliver? So when donors come in, they're not just looking at our capacity to execute a project, not just the numbers of staff. We have the right workforce. No, they're also looking further into the work environment. You know, some donors are very keen. So do we have records of our staff, volunteers, members, attachés, interns? Do we have the right HR policies? Does it speak about what happens to an employee? How secure is an employee joining our team? What is the wage bill ratio? They need to see how much are you paying your staff? Do you have such documentation? And by this, they even go further to see what is the gap between the highest paid employee and the lowest paid employee. Is it within the minimum livable wage so that an employee is not exposed to violence or abuse by virtue of working for organization because you are paying below the minimum livable wage in our area? How about the labor welfare? Do our employees have contracts? Do these contracts stipulate their privileges, their benefits, like the job description? Does it show the salary scale they are going to earn? Does it show the additional benefits, whether there is additional training, what allowances, medical cover, insurance, and etc.? Do we remit the statutory deductions to the government as expected so that our employees are not frustrated, for defaulting their tax obligation? Do we have clear disciplinary procedures such that I know if I have made a mistake as an employee of the organization, what are the disciplinary steps that shall be taken on me? Is there clarity, or is there confusion about what happens? Because when there is no clarity, means that your staff are abused. So a donor can decide to go back with their money because we have the right capacity, we have the right governance, but our employees are abused. They will go back with their money. Do we have workman injury benefit? Do we have occupational safety and health, especially for those organizations whose work expose a risk to their employees? Do we have clear safety measures and compensation in case of injury or suffering any harm? Do we have proof of staff development? Because staff come in with knowledge and skills, but as they are working for us, do we improve their knowledge and skills? Have we tapped into maximizing harnessing of their skills and knowledge within our organization? So when they want to look at that, they look at, do we have training schedules? Do we have training needs assessment for our employees? Do we take them for training? Do we cover the cost of that training? Or do we just say, for you to work with us, you need to have this certification? Yes? Do we just do that, or do we go further and support their learning? Maybe it can be full scholarship or partial scholarship for that particular skill that you want them to acquire to work best for organization. Do we have reports? Do we have a policy that speaks about capacity development for our employees? That is what donors are looking at. They're also looking at the work environment. Do all your employees, volunteers, interns, and attachés know the clear grievance redress mechanism? So that means you need to have a policy, either standalone policy or merged with the HR policy. But mostly it's very good if it's standalone, because it can be our employees facing abuse and they want to register their grievances. It can be our beneficiaries. It can be the community around us. So do we have a clear grievance redress mechanism? Do we have evidence of grievance resolution? What is our resolution rate? How many grievances registered have been resolved, and how have they been resolved? Do we have documentation of the satisfaction of those who have been aggrieved? Do we have a whistleblower policy? Do those who whistleblow, are they protected really in real, not just in paper? Do we have, what is our turnover as an organization? You cannot be an organization that every day you have employees leaving, quitting. It's not just about the salary you are offering. Sometimes it's about the benefits and how safe the work environment is. What is our turnover rate as an organization? How diverse is our workforce? Do we just have people from one ethnic background? Do we have people of different ethnic backgrounds? Do we have people of different religious backgrounds? Do we have people of different races? Do we have disability inclusion? Do we have gender inclusion? What does it mean for a PWD working for your organization? Do they feel safe? Do they feel supported? What does it mean for women working for your organization? Do they have to postpone their maternity duties and obligations? Can they work for you while still being able to offer their, their gendered roles as women? Do we have those special considerations? So those are the things that some donors are looking at when they're looking about when they're talking about your human capital. It's about, can you prove that you have workplace inclusion, you have diversity, you have good worker welfare, grievance resolution mechanism, and all this. So all beyond just that, they're also looking at the financial control. Now this is the real game. Do you have the capacity of as an organization to mobilize, allocate, and ensure good stewardship of the resources that we have acquired as an organization? How do we protect the resources that we have? How are we accountable? Do we have a clear accounting system? How strong is our accounting system from infiltration internally and externally? So that those people who do, we say, cybercrime carding, how secure is our accounting system that it cannot be infiltrated by, internally and externally? What is the internal control system as an organization? The one who is handling cash, it should not be the same person doing checks. Should not be the same person doing approval of checks. Should not be the same person doing, is not the signatory. Should not be the same person doing bank and cash reconciliation, bank reconciliation at the end of every month. And in situations where we have shortage of staffing and even board membership, how do we counter these shortages to ensure that we have a strong, robust, secure accounting or financial management system as an organization? What is the finance policy? What is the maximum cash transaction that we can have? Mostly in Kenya, some organizations have it like 10,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings, not more than $10, not more than $5, depends with the organization. So what is the maximum capped, cash transaction that can happen? What are the procedures for writing a check and even approving until a check is cashed? Do we have a check voucher? Do we have a cash voucher? Do we have a petty cash book? How is it robust? How do we secure that system? What are the standard operating procedures for me as a project officer when I want to implement a project? What is the approval? What are the approval stages? How does it secure our money all through all those stages until money is acquired for that particular activity as an organization? What is the resource mobilization policy? What does it say? Is it strong enough? Do we do due diligence of the partners that are supporting our work? Yes. Are we securing our finances? Because we have anti-money laundering. So we should not be receiving money from people who are also cleaning their money into the system. We should not be receiving money from organizations or entities that are linked to terror financing. We should not be receiving resources from entities that are linked to fraudulent activities. So we need to look into where are we getting our money, where are we mobilizing our resources from. It should be clean sources so that we do not face closure or any disciplinary action by the government or any other regulating agency. How do we report about our finances? Do we do monthly reporting? Do we do weekly reporting? Do we do annual reporting? Do we conduct an audit of our resources? So they're looking at, do we have an internal audit system? Do we have an internal auditing officer? Is it the accountant, or how have we improved that? Do we have an internal audit committee that can ensure that our money is doing the right thing, the right amount of money, doing what it's supposed to do to get the impact? So they're looking at our internal audit control measures, the documentation. We need to show the proof. They're also looking at, when I'm doing cash bank reconciliation, are we doing it every month? The best practice is monthly, and for some organizations, they do it weekly, depending on their volume of transactions and maybe the donor requirements and even internal control measures. What are our procurement policies and organization? Do we have a procurement policy? Do we have proof of documentation that we are complying with the procurement procedures? Do we have the invoices? Do we have the receipts? Do we have the purchase of supply orders? Do we receive quotations from different sources and and decide on who gets the tender? Do we have a justification report for the procurement, for who is awarded the tender? We need to show proof of us complying to the procurement procedures. So we need to show that we have internal control measures such that donor financing is secure. We need to show, have we audited our accounts for the last 2-3 years? And do not say that our donors do not require that. Yes, your donors may not require that, but remember, you need to be attractive to future and prospective donors. And they can only be more secure when they see that you have audited your account. What was the auditor's report? What was the disclaimer from the auditor? What are the recommendations from the auditor? How far are you as an organization implementing the recommendations from the previous audit report? What happens when there are cases of fraud? When an employee has been is suspected or is accused of participating in fraud, fraudulently utilizing the organization money, what happens to that particular employee? Is it just internal sanctions or does it go to the court of law? If it is a board member implicated in that, what happens in such a situation? If there is someone bypassing the procurement procedure, what happens in such a situation? When there's a conflict of interest regarding financial decisions in the organization, what happens in that? So the donors want to see those policies, those SOPs, those documents, how they can show that those policies are working. Because if not, we can be very good in governance structure. We have a very good human resource capital. We have a good program management strategy, but our accounting system is very weak because we have up to $100 in cash transactions. We have no procurement committee. The procurement committee is not, there is nothing like declaring a conflict of interest. And to sum all this, other than impact documentation and this other documentation during due diligence, we need to have a documentation management policy as an organization.